Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Thursday. We're at the 7th of April, 2022, 6:15 p.m. Central Time. I'm early. Well, in the gold market, we're fighting a battle against the 18-day, I take that back, moving average of closes, and it's a heck of a battle. We've been going sideways, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Copper market, I think you're going to have a hard time keeping this market under the 470 level. It's going to battle to do that. Foreign currency markets, well, they're just looking at all that's going on. We had today the unemployment claims, and they're at a 50-year low. So what that basically does is it says to the Fed, hey, the labor market's super tight. People are going back to work. As a whole, you're dropping these numbers down to 50-year lows. The market can withstand a jolt to interest rates, maybe quite a bit of them. And while it may put the economy down, it doesn't have to go into a recession. That's the argument that these type of numbers give you. You're still looking at energy prices and Brent fighting a battle at $100. And you're looking up here at the nat gas. Well, it's still going to stay well bid. Remember, it was in the 4s, then the 5s. Now it's the 6s because everybody wants America's natural gas. As we go to a gold chart, the weekly chart of closes, you haven't broken down to the 18-week average. And I question if you will. Don't know that yet. What I can look at in the market is say, I'm not certain what's going on. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. As we expand the chart out, you've got a pattern of lower highs, lower lows, which is a downtrend. The market is trading underneath the 18-day moving average of closes. That's what I call the line in the sand. That is the bias number. So it keeps hitting it, not doing anything with it. In order to break the downtrend, you got to get through this day's high right here of 1948.90. But because of the chart pattern, it would just break the downtrend, not start an uptrend. Okay, so where are the Bollinger Bands? This is what's interesting now. Notice how wide the bands were and how they keep narrowing in. That's because volatility has come out of the market. You don't keep discounting the Ukraine situation. It is what it is. It's a disaster. It's going to get worse, but it's in the market, and the market doesn't look at it. We look at the horror every night on television. I mean, you can't turn on a news station, international or domestic, where you don't see it. And to my amazement, by the way, polls in Russia have Putin with one of his highest ratings ever, 80% approve of this president. It's amazing to me. And I was looking at the interviews today on BBC and PBS. So I'm not trying to get necessarily American points of view on it. These people are behind him. They believe that what he's doing is right for Russia. Okay, what can I tell you? But that's what they think. So as you look at the market, though, and the gold, that's absorbed. Now the market's churning. The next story for the gold is the inflation story. It's got to come back. It was an early story. It didn't carry the market. Ukraine carried the market. The market has settled back from that. And now the question is, can inflation carry the market if it's going to resume its uptrend? There's going to be a move, in my opinion, into commodities as the stock market eventually absorbs all these interest rate hikes, and it'll drive people to saying maybe they should have more commodities in their portfolio because the commodities will represent the inflation. That's my guess. And the word is it's a guess. As I'm looking at what's going on now, momentum is flat, downtrend, bias down. You're just stuck in this spinning around for a while. I wouldn't be surprised even if you broke, you get to the lower band. If you rally, you get to the upper band, and you just hover around them. The longer it goes sideways, the bigger the eventual move. The gold-silver ratio, well, silver's finding its footing against the lower Bollinger Band. It's oversold. It's in a clear downtrend, unlike the gold. You have everything together here. You have momentum down, bias down, and you've had everything going with that. The resistance point is the 18-day average of closes. To break the downtrend but not start an uptrend, the market would have to get over 25.11. So that's the number I'd be looking at to break that. The support number you can see. It's the lower Bollinger Band. You keep hitting it at the 24.28 level and getting small bounces off of it, but the trend remains to the downside. In the copper market, I told you I thought that the pros were going to try to defend their positions against the 18-day average since the trend is up. What would break that trend is taking out 466.90, the last break low of the swing line. You got up to the upper Bollinger Band against this 486 level, and the pros bailed on it. Now the support's 470.37 right in there, and you can see that is where you're battling away. You have not taken that number out. I think the pros bought it. Now the question is, can they do anything with it? Like the gold market, something else is happening. Always keep your eye what the Bollinger Bands are doing. They're narrowing in and narrowing in dramatically. The longer they do that, what happens is the market needs to consolidate. This has consolidated quite a while, but what it's done in their consolidation, it first looked at the range of, let's call it 430 up to in here, the 460 level, and then it broke higher, and now it's making a higher range of 460 to the 480 level. And the market is just continuing to work with that. I find that interesting and bullish long term. In the platinum, I was looking for the market to hit the lower Bollinger Band. It's done it the past 48 hours, bouncing away. If we look at the slow stochastic reading, both numbers were not under 20. They were on the close today. We'll see if they can do it and through Monday. If they do, then there could be another level to the downside, but it's hard to get super bearish when you're against the Bollinger Band and you don't settle outside of it more than 5% of the time. Palladium market is acting different than the platinum market. It is finding its support right where it should, at the 100 and the 200-day average. There's nothing bullish on the chart. Everything's still bearish in the chart, and at any point it could drop to the lower band. What would surprise the market is taking out this high. I'll give you the number right here. Should the market take out 2344.50 and close over the 18-week average, which is lower than that at 2337.90, you would have a weekly reversal. Just giving you the what ifs here. The market would have momentum probably turned up at that point. The moving average is under it, and you'd suddenly be bullish. That's that case. Bears have to defend the market if they want to hold on, and I wouldn't touch the dollar. I see the dollar going from a lower band to a higher. Now, our price count work in the office does call for a move as high as 104 if this market can resolve this, build a base out of this, and then start moving to the upside. So longer term, no, I am not in the bear camp in this market, but you're overbought in upper Bollinger Band. There's a question of time when you want to do something. And you know, with that, that's my idea. I'm helping you look for trade ideas. And I do that in the morning in two different sets of videos for you. First, I do it in the futures. So I start you off because at 5:30 in the morning, roughly, I start recording a 15, 20-minute long video covering all the futures, what's happened overnight in Asia, Europe, the U.S., what reports are coming out, and where we're at. I'll cover about 40 charts with technical analysis. I'll give you areas exactly to enter here, come out here, here's your stop, here's your objective, here's your trailing stop, and way to work with that. Then I flip it at 9 o'clock because now the reports have generally come out and I go into the ETF categories. So I've covered that. The traders are looking to see what the futures did. This package gives you the full range of what I'm doing. And then on the weekend, I take this because I do those Monday through Friday. And what takes place is I take those away from there. And the next step that I do, weekly charts for the bigger chart picture, the longer term trends. How do you find out more about this and learn with it? Go up to www.iraepstein.com under the word research. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day.